Hi, friends. For anybody who has not been here recently, I have all of the House Flipper DLC and I have played it a lot, but I recently lost all of my saved files, and so I am starting over completely. Hey, puppy. I'm trying to see what's going on with you, but oh, there we go. I'm trying to click on it. Interact. Yes, there we go. What do you need? Oh, it says he has no needs right now, but we will go ahead and give you a pet. Yes, you're a good dog. Good Rex. Would you like a treat? There. Not you, doggies. I was talking to the game. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. No, Mommy doesn't have any right now. Not right now, guys. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. So now we are going to go in here. Oh, hi, Fruity. Good evening. How are you today? Moose, it's okay. Yes, good boy. Easy. So we are going to the burned house. I started this the other day and I have added a couple of extensions onto it, so it is bigger than it originally was. But my plan today is to decorate this all in orange. And I'm kind of challenging myself in that because that is not a color I usually decorate with. And actually, if we come in here, you'll see, we've got a mole over here. I better go take care of that first off. Get rid of these molehills. Where is the pesky mole hiding? Oh, there he is. And I got a new skill point. Bye, little mole. Let's get rid of the rest of these so he doesn't come back. There. Now they're all gone, so I can look and see what I can do with my new skill point. Here we go. Okay, I can do the regulated mowing speed and grass placement, or the shovel that does more efficient digging. I think I'll go with the mowing speed. The digging is not too, it is slow now, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. Just a couple extra clicks one way or another. Moose, that's no, you are in the stream work. This is Daddy's stream room. You have to be quiet in here. Yes. Good boy. Thank you. No, if you guys want to play roughhousing, you have to go in another room. Yeah, you don't do that in Daddy's stream room. So it looks a little bit like a furniture warehouse in here. That's because I decided to pull all the orange things that I could find and put them in the room. Oh, hey, Taters! Oh, 2 months! Yay! Thank you so much! Thank you for the resub. Yes, there is a moose in here. There's a moose and a copper. I was just saying that this looks a little bit like a furniture warehouse in here right now. It's because I'm planning to decorate in all orange, and I wanted to see what... Oh, Moosey, that's enough. Yeah, Copper's a little shorter. He doesn't show, and he's not being quite as noisy either. He's just kind of laying there on the floor. Moose is a bit wound up right now. And I think he noticed that I was talking about him on stream, and so he came over here. He's like, yeah, you're talking about the doggies, aren't you? Anyway, so I pulled up all this stuff because I wanted to see how things look together and what I like best. I really love this flooring. It's a Moroccan flooring in orange, an orange tile, and I like that very well. Yes, I think, I actually said that because I gave the dog in the game something, and I said that T word to the dog in the game, but the other dogs were like, wait a minute, we know that word. Yeah, we are talking about you. Yes, we're talking about you. That doesn't mean you have to wait if you hear a song. That's the only way we do that, is if you hear a song. So I love this flooring, but there are some issues with it in that only some of the furniture can be set on the flooring some of it does not work because the floor is a workshop item. And so it's just a little bit glitchy that way. A lot of the stuff works on it, but not everything does. So I have not quite decided if I want to use that, which rooms I want to use that in, all of that kind of stuff. And in the meantime, I've got all these different choices of furniture, and there are some quite widely different looks available. We've got some quite modern looking things, some slightly retro things, some things that look like they could be from a grandma's house or something, it's quite a mix, and I have not decided what I want to use. If anybody in chat sees an item that they particularly like and think we should include, feel free to shout it out. Okay, I'm going to have to move things in order to be able to walk. And I can't move that there. Let me see if I can. I'll just stick it outside for a minute. I think I can do that. Yeah, there we go. Just for a minute. So for tables, we have that big, long table. It's a nice thing that's definitely orange, but it is very big and probably too big for the space that we are working with. We also have this round table with an orange tablecloth. So again, it's a very definite orange color. It might be a little bit more tricky to work with chairs around it because of the tablecloth, but it probably would be okay. It also will probably take up a fair amount of room, but not too bad. And then this is a slightly smaller table, a rectangle that has like an oilcloth covering over that, and it's sort of between yellow and orange. So some of the things, it was hard to decide. I mean, some of them are a little more toward the pink side, they're peach maybe, but even verging on pink. Some of them are borderline yellow. Some of them run a little to the brown side. So there are very few things that are just a color crayon basic orange color. Like this one wire chair over here, that's what I would consider, that's a, truly orange, no doubt about it. But the chair next to it is also supposed to be orange, but looks a little bit yellowish. But I'm okay with going with things that are borderline orange. It's just hard to know, do we want to stick with peachy oranges, or do we want to go with yellow oranges, or do we want to do a mix of things together? So have not decided about that. But those are our three main table choices. You may notice if you were here last time that I completely redid the kitchen. Not only that, I actually tore down all of the walls and rebuilt things. So I can show you the new layout in a minute when I clear out some of the furniture. But the kitchen is down there now, but it's still it's done with the orange tiles and then a sort of a peachy orange cabinets. For dining chairs, we have a very basic wood legs with an orange that's a pretty typically orange. Thank you, Moon. Thanks so much. I'm doing well. I've been a little tired this last week, so haven't been accomplishing a lot, but I'm happy. Life is good even when feeling a little tired and stuff. So yeah, have you? Well, I hope that you are able to get rested up, or that your energy increases. I do feel like I'm doing a little bit better today than I have been the last few. So, that's one reason I'm in here now. I was like, okay, I think I'm finally feeling up to doing a stream. So yeah, I don't know if you had heard, Moon, but I had to start completely over in this game. I lost all of my save files, so I am starting back at the beginning, but I do have all of the DLC still, and I did the things to be able to get like the architect tool, so I was able to add additions onto this house. I do not know why, and I decided not to worry about the why, and I'm looking at this as an opportunity. Fortunately, I had just recorded a walkthrough of my most recent build. So, I mean, if I had had that happen mid-build, I would have been kind of devastated. But because I had it recorded, I do have pictures of it. I can enjoy the memories of the build, and so that's fine. And I have that on most of the builds. I have either still photos or videos, things like that. So I'm okay. And like I said, I just decided this is an opportunity. I've kind of wanted to go back to the beginning because I was not streaming yet when I first started the game. And I thought it would be kind of fun to show those very beginning things for anybody who hasn't seen them yet. I know there's, lots of things out there where you can see that, but, I just figured that would be a fun thing to show. But yeah, this house, it started off just the little burned house, and you can see how I've put a pretty good size addition on each side of it. So the house is much bigger. And at first, I was keeping the walls basically the way they were and just adding a little extra onto each of the rooms. But then I decided that the layout just wasn't working. I had actually completed decorating the kitchen, but I was like, no, it's just not right. And so I completely tore everything down in the house, got rid of everything I'd done in the kitchen, and rebuilt. And now, let me see if I can move this. Yeah, that'll go over there so I can walk over this way. Let's see. If I move these two chairs, I think I can make my way around. At this end down here, we have a little pantry area. It's going to be like a pantry storage. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I actually was trying. Oh, hi, Lenixel. Nice to see you. I was trying to actually make the roof match up so it would look like one long roof, but it would not let me do it exactly like that. So, that didn't work, but I do like it pretty well the way it turned out. Anyway, so we've got the little pantry storage room off on the one side, and then, I'll tell you, this door here, that's going to go to a little bathroom. So we'll have, when guests are over, that's an easy to access restroom for company. And then this is going to be the big dining room, living room area once I figure out which furniture I want to use. Oh, thank you. I've been having fun playing around with different things. And yeah, I really liked this frame that I put around the video just because, the little bricks, I felt like it reminded me of building things in House Flipper. So this down here is going to be a master bedroom. And then I'm planning to also do a nursery and a bathroom. So, because it's a pretty good size room. I think we can fit all of that. The nursery, will probably be pretty small. So I think we can do a master bedroom suite with a little nursery included in it. Then out here, oh, goodness. Oh, thank you, Chesh, for the subscription. Thank you for using your Prime to subscribe. I really appreciate that. So I just showed the different table choices that we have in orange. Thank you, Chesh. It's good to see you. How have you been? We've got several different types of chairs. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I'm sorry that your back is hurting, but yeah, go rest. I appreciate the lurks, but I hope that you can get some rest for your back and that it gets to feeling better. I hope maybe you have something to put some heat on your back and, do all the things, heat or ice, whatever you need to get that taken care of. I really like that wire chair. It looks terribly uncomfortable to sit in, but I think it's really cute. And yeah, then we've got this, kind of modern plasticky molded chair. I don't know if it's plastic or something else. It came with the space things, I think. This is a very traditional looking chair with wooden legs, and it's upholstered, the seat and back, no arms. Then we have a retro sort of almost 50s, anywhere from the 40s to 60s, really. Looks like a chair from a diner or something. Over here we have another upholstered chair, also with wood legs. We have 3 different choices of upholstered chairs that all have wood legs and like cloth or something on the seats and backs and no arms, but each of them is in a slightly different orangey color. And so it is hard to decide, what would be the best combination of oranges to use in here. And some of these chairs could be used for other things as well, like the wire chair could actually go in a living room thing or at a table, I think. And actually, there's another chair over there with arms that could probably also pull up to a table, but I think would be more likely in a living room. Over in the bar area of the kitchen, yes, I believe that one is a workshop item. I have a lot of workshop items in here, but there are a surprising number from the base game as well that I was able to find in orange and thought could work in here. Oh, that's a good idea. I should try that. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, Moon said that I should try the wire chair with an orange pillow on it. I think that sounds like a great idea. I'm still debating a little bit about the kitchen. I don't know if that's the color combination I want. Overall, I like it, but I could possibly go with a retro kitchen with sort of a brighter orange on things instead of this peachy color was the closest to orange that I could get on the cabinets. The only other option would be just to go with a neutral color cabinets or wood cabinets and then bring the orange in other ways. So I haven't fully decided about that. Again, I always love to hear people's ideas about what they think would be interesting to see. So if anybody has something they would really like to see or thinks would look good, feel free to shout it out. I started with these wooden chairs that have seat covers with this orange and brown stripe on it. It looks like orange, brown, yellow, and green, kind of. And those could go at the bar, but then I also found these sort of traditional diner bar stool type stools with an orange vinyl top on them. So we could really go with either of those. I'm not sure which works better with the rest of the kitchen. So I've kind of left them both there at the moment while I just think about that some more. And then, does anybody have a particular, of the chairs I was showing, is there a particular color or style that you think might work well? Or of the tables also, tables and chairs together? Because I know the tables, we've got a pretty dark yellow, a bright yellow one that I moved outside just because it was so big, and then a yellowy orange with a pattern on it that's a smaller rectangle. I love the orange ottoman. That one is from the workshop, and it is if you look up Moroccan, there are a lot of Moroccan things in the workshop. And that is where I got the orange tiles on the floor. They're orange, but with kind of a turquoise little pieces in it that I think are just so pretty. And then they have these footstools come in several different colors, but with the beautiful embroidery and everything. I love it. And they also have some pillows. So I might look for one of those to put on the wire chair. They have some Moroccan style pillows, floor pillows, and then they have some plants with Moroccan style planters with designs on the planters. And all of that is so pretty and works, really well together. I've even seen things for doing window seats and doing ceiling coverings where it looks like it's some kind of cloth things draped on the ceiling or something, and doorway cutouts. I have not gone with most of that because it looks pretty complicated and I don't know how well everything would work, like trying to fit things into the doorway and have it match up perfectly and stuff. But it is a lot of really fun stuff to play with. And then for the couch, we could go with something with a pattern on it and then try to incorporate other colors that go with that. Or we could just go with a solid color, maybe bring some patterns in other places, like on the little footstool. A lot of what I have now is solid orange, but I was just looking at the main big items that could go in this room, trying to figure out the sizing and placement and which colors would combine together in a way that didn't look like it was clashing. That's the thing that's difficult with this, is there are so many different variations of orange, and sometimes it's like certain ones look really nice together and then others clash quite a bit. And so it's very hard to figure out how to get a whole room where it looks like it's consistent and isn't clashing and crazy. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much for the raid. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad to have you here. We are working on the burned house. That's one of the first houses in the game, and we put extensions on using the architect tool, and so it's quite a bit bigger, but I am trying to decorate it all in orange and trying to decide which colors actually count as orange. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate having you here. And yeah, I love House Flipper too. I told some of the people who were here already that I actually, after spending so much time in House Flipper and having so many different builds, I lost all of my save files. So I decided to use that as an opportunity to go back to the beginning and I'm keeping the things that come with the DLC. I had to go do the job to get the architect tool, but I have those abilities now. But I'm back to working on the very early houses, and I just wanted to challenge myself to do something I thought would be a little bit difficult. And it seems like orange is one of the least common colors in the game. Skippy says, no, it's okay. I had almost finished the whole game and made a new game, but turned out I created a new game, on top of your main one. That, I think it was something along those lines of what happened. At least I know I had a couple of save games from when I accidentally went into the wrong thing instead of going into my main game, and the computer saved it, but I never really used it. It only had, maybe 5 minutes in the game or something. And I suspect that possibly one of those got saved over the main game, but I don't know. I'm not worried about how it happened or anything. I just am like, well, this gives me an opportunity. One thing I did say is I had just finished doing a video of a walkthrough of my most recent build. And so that made it so much easier to come to terms with losing the game, because I did have everything on video or pictures of it, things like that. So I had proof of all my creations that I've done so far and that I've enjoyed. So I felt like, okay, I can start over again, and that's fine. It's fun to see what I can do with these early houses now that I've had a lot more experience in House Flipper. But the oranges, like I said, there are not that many items that actually come in orange. It is one of the least common things. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. I guess I could go back and redo them or something, but I didn't really want to do that. But at least I have them saved so I can look at them and be like, oh yeah, that was so fun. It's one of those things. It's like being a parent who takes all these photos of your kids because you've got to have all these memories. And I'm like, I want to have those memories of my fun builds, even though I might not ever look at them anyway. But it's nice to know they're there. But yeah, the things that the game calls orange range quite widely, from pastel peach that is almost a pinky peach color, some of these things, and then some that are really very yellowy orange. Some are an orange rusty brown. There are not very many that are really what I would consider a true orange. There are several that are pretty close. The one I would say is probably the most what I would consider a true orange is that little wire chair over there. But most of the other furniture, I think it's probably a little hard to get things that look like an orange leather or something. I tried to find what I could, but anyway, so we've got a wide range of things, and they don't all necessarily look like they would go together. They seem like some of the things could really clash. Some of them could work together, but I want to find things that would work together as far as color, but also style and kind of time period. It's like it could be eclectic, but I don't want it to just look totally thrown together, like things just don't work together. So I brought all this stuff in here. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we'll figure something out. I think for the dining table, that one table I feel like is just a little too yellow for most everything else that I have. So I think I'm going to get rid of that. The one outside, I like the color, but it is just so big. I don't think there's any way we can fit that and still have room for anything else. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the round table. And then for chairs, I feel like this new one that they put in, the molded chair, is cute, but I don't think it goes with the table with tablecloth. I think that's going to need to be something a little bit more traditional. We do have 3 different options of very traditional furniture, and then even that retro diner table diner chair could probably work in here. And that orange one could even work maybe, but I think it might be more likely to go somewhere in the living room. So yeah, and then I'm trying to decide for the living room, I'm trying to decide do I really consider orange, and which styles do we want to go with? I like the little love seat thing here with that it's up on legs, that it looks kind of airy, it kind of a little bit modern, or at least like mid-century, kind of more than say something like this one back here. It looks very kind of dated to me. It looks, really heavy. I think I'm going to get rid of that one because I don't think I want to go with anything that looks that heavy. Oh yes, feel free. I know what it's like after stream, but thank you so much for bringing your community over here. I really appreciate that. I always love to see you here, and I will do my best to take good care of your community. Thanks so much for the raid. So I'm thinking I kind of like this. I don't like the style as much. Whoops! That was not what I intended to do. I actually was thinking I would like to use that one, even though the style is not necessarily what I'm looking for. I do like that it has a pattern with multiple colors in it. I feel like that can give us something that can kind of help bring some other colors in, but still have it grounded in orange. Oh yeah, that's fine. And lurking is always fine too. I'm just glad to have people here to share with. It's nice to feel like I can enjoy this activity that I like so much and maybe have some other people enjoy it with me. So thank you. So let's see, I'm going to go into furniture here, and then living room, sofas, and I want to go down to where I know that I got that striped sofa in here. Let's see if I can find it again. Most of these did not come in any kind of orange variations. Now this one is orange, but that was a solid orange. I think this, no, that's just the bright colored. God bless you too, Skippy. Thank you. And I appreciate it if you, I would love to see you again. And I'll look for when you're streaming sometime too. Thank you. Oh, Moose, it's okay. Remember, you're in Daddy's stream room. You have to be quiet in here. Yeah, good boy. Now, I'm trying to remember which one had the patterns. Okay, this fudge left, that has some patterns, but I don't see that striped pattern. It's one of those. Oh, hi, Tackle. Welcome in. It's good to see you, and thank you so much for the follow. I hope you are having a good day. I know earlier it sounded like you were busy running around and stuff, so I hope you've gotten to have a little bit of time to chill. Oh, well, I appreciate whoever informed you, and thanks for coming over. Let's see, was it this one that had, oh, this might be the one where I found that pattern. No, that doesn't have the orange pattern. It has a different striped pattern. Oh, is this the one? Yeah, this is the one that had it. Okay, I'm gonna bring that one back again because that has orange, but it's like I didn't want everything to be just blocks of solid orange because we want something to liven things up a little bit. So I think that sofa could kind of give us something to work around. So I think I like this big sofa. It's a little on the yellow side, and this one's a little yellow tan, but they were okay, but I'm going to move those because I think I will use this as my main sofa. We could also put a different orange sofa with it. I'm not sure how that would look. Moose, you don't need to bark. So I think I'm going to leave that here just for the moment. Although really, since I'm doing the one that is down low to the ground, I should probably get rid of this one. And then I think when I was going through here, I think there was a solid color one that I could get in orange. I just have to find it. These are patterned ones. That's the patterned one. Okay. Oh, this one also, oh, that has a slightly different color stripes, I think. Okay. But there's an orange one, but it's the kind on legs. That's interesting. Surely one of these will have an orange option. You've got the light colored. I need a bright, oh, here. This here, I probably could get an orange option. Yes. So I might use something like that in here along with the other one, or we could just keep it all in the striped pattern. I'm not sure. I also have been unsure whether to use these tiles or not because some of the furniture works on the tiles and some of it does not. It looks like this will not work on the tiles. So that lets me know that the tiles are out for the living room. Not bedtime yet. Yeah, I guess you have to feed them before you put them to bed. I don't know what it is. I have the same issue with my family. They just want to eat every single day. Sometimes that just does not seem fair. Oh, they refused dinner. Oh no, that makes, yeah, and then they are hungry and it's hard to sleep. Oh, sounds like a hard evening for Mom. I hope that it's not too bad. Hopefully you have good soundproofing in your house so that you can have some peace and quiet where you are, even if they're making noise in their rooms. Okay, so we cannot do the tile. I love that tile. I might leave it in the entryway, but I'll have to decide how far I want to carry it because I want to make sure we have enough room for the living room and dining room. But now we need to decide if we're going to go with wood floor in here or carpet. There were some different carpets that we could put on the floor. Let's see. I guess the only one that I saved was this one here. I kind of like how this looks like a woven carpet. It's kind of a yellowy orange, looks almost like a straw. Oh no. Yeah, that sounds That sounds tough. I'm glad we're past that stage. It can be a lot of fun, but at the same time, I'm glad we're done with it. So yeah, we could do something like a wood floor with just a small rug down on it. Like I said, this one here, it looks kind of like straw, but it's still, I feel like, can count as orange. It's like an off orange. I want to take a look at some of the other rugs. And remember, I think most of them looked more brown to me than orange. And so that was one reason I didn't keep them. That one didn't. A lot of them didn't offer an orange option, but some of them did. Like this one offers an orange option, but when I put it down, it looks like yellow and brown to me. It does not look like orange. So, I mean, I could say that it's technically orange because the game is calling it orange. Or I could say that it really doesn't look orange. So I haven't quite decided about that yet. I want to see what else I can come up with if I can find any carpets that I don't, oh, maybe let me check in the workshop or the ones that I've saved from the workshop anyway. We'll go to decorations, floor, and see if I have anything orange in here. I'm not sure that I do, but it's possible. Not seeing anything though, because normally I don't tend to look for orange. Yeah, it's not looking like there's really an option. I mean, we could go with something that's just a neutral on the floor and we don't have to have orange on absolutely everything, but I do want it to overall look pretty orange. Oh, we do have this orange braided rug. Now that one actually does look orange. It also looks very like an old type of a thing, not something you usually would see in a modern house, but that is something we could add in. I'm thinking that might work well in the bedroom to be a nice warm place when they get out of bed to step onto. But I'm thinking a couple of these that has a fair amount of orange in it. That actually might be a possibility. Of course, then it ends up with more pattern, and then maybe I'm thinking maybe I don't want to do the striped sofa, but go with some solids instead if I'm going to bring something like this in on the floor. I think I'm going to put that there for a minute, and I want to take a look. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to put it all the way out here, I think, for now. And I can either... Moose, that's too loud. No, too loud in the stream room. We could either go with just these low slung things, but I think I might do some more of something like the little love seat. Maybe I won't have a long sofa, but maybe have a couple of love seats and some chairs or something. Oh, this is an option for a coffee table. It's a little wagon thing that was made into a coffee table, and it is orange. It does have some turquoise on it as well, but that is a possible thing that we might use there. I'm thinking this carpet actually might do pretty well to help tie some things together in this room and make it a little bit more cohesive. Not sure how I want to put things in here. I think maybe I will go for another of those orange chairs. And I've got to check. I don't remember if that one was from the base game or was one I had downloaded from the Steam Workshop. I'm glad one of them has fallen asleep already. I hope that the 5-year-old whining ends before too long, because I know 5-year-old whining can be a lot to listen to. Living room. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this is the section where I had gotten that orange chair. There's also some others that have patterns that kind of blend with orange. When you look at them closely, they're not exactly orange. There were also these retro things that I could use, but it would be very matchy to do the whole thing in that, and it's hard to think what other things might work with it. Plus, I've used that in a different build, so I think I'm gonna stay away from that one right now. Just want to find this other orange chair. I think they called it something like basic orange chair or some name along those lines. Or boring, yes. Like they've got the boring violet chair, the boring teal chair, which don't look boring to me, but I think this one may have been called boring orange chair. Yes, there it is. So that's how I found this. So I think I will put that there so we kind of keep a little symmetry here. But then I think I will also bring this little, I don't remember what that's called, husk chair, I think is it maybe what it was called. I think I will bring that over out in the room. And then maybe I will just put this stool over here that it could be pulled up if somebody wants a footstool, or it could be used as a seat. So I think that might work. We'll need to get some other tables. We've got the one in the middle, but we'll need some other tables, some smaller ones to go with it, and some lamps and things like that. Yeah, right. I felt like those were actually very nice looking chairs. They're something I would be perfectly happy to have in my house. So it was funny. I think maybe they were being sarcastic when they named it or something, or they just decided it's boring because it's a solid color instead of the patterned ones. I don't know, but I thought those are pretty nice looking. They're sleek and modern looking, I feel like. Okay, so we will go into furniture, living room, tables. Yeah, I think the lack of pattern is probably what they were referring to, but that doesn't make it boring. I mean, that was just a nice, sleek thing. Oh, thank you. Hi, nice to see you, Lociation. Yeah, I think we are all in agreement that those are some pretty nice chairs. They're basic, but in a good way. They don't have the things that they don't have a lot of little fiddly details that maybe sometimes you don't want to have in the room. You know, sometimes you just want things to be simple and elegant, like you said, Moon. I think elegant is a good word for it. Right now I'm looking for small chairs. Small tables. Most of these are coffee tables, but there are some small ones in here. A few different side tables. These give you a choice of wood options. So we can't make them orange, but I do feel like we've got all this orange in the room. So I feel like it's okay to have some wood accessories or like small things that are done in wood. I don't think I have a color that's going to quite match. Or is that black on those? Or it looks like it's a wood tone, but just very dark on the chairs, but it's almost black. So I don't know. Oh, that's too purpley, I think. I could go with black. So we could either go solid black. That actually looks pretty close now that I'm realizing it. I'm thinking I might go ahead and go with black. Black is a neutral. We will stick with that. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on the other side because I don't want to get things too chaotic in here, because there's already quite a bit going on. I want to move this chair over just a little bit so we have a little more room for the end table there. I think that'll work. Let's look at it from over here. And yeah, they're not exactly even, but they're pretty close. Maybe pull this up that way just a little bit. There. Okay, I think that will work. And then try and get a couple of lamps for those. And again, on lamps, I may or may not be able to find things that are actually orange. If I can find orange, I might give that a try. If I can't find something that's actually orange, then we might just go with a neutral. Like this, it says it's orange. I don't know like if I just saw that, I wouldn't necessarily say that's an orange lamp. But when I look at it in here, I think, okay, that is kind of that's a shade of orange. It's a very light one, but it does kind of match, some of these other things. And we do have the orange lights up here too, which I think I need to move a little bit now that I've got my furniture in place. I need to try and get this somewhat centered. This is one of the things that's really difficult in this game. Thank you. I do think that the lamps stand out well against the darker wall. And it's interesting because the wall is a dark enough shade of orange that it's almost borders on brown, but still definitely feels like it fits within the range of orange that you can get. And the lamps are like one of the lightest shades, and then the chairs are kind of that medium tone. So they also stand out against the wall, but the lamps really do and give that extra little pop, kind of. I'm gonna move this little bit, just try and center it some. So I do like how that looks. I think that rug really helped, at least for me, it helped me to kind of figure things out. I was feeling so overwhelmed with all the furniture choices in orange, but then when I saw that rug, it kind of helped me to narrow down and figure out what things would work with that. And I feel like that's just kind of pulling the whole living room together. And hopefully we can find a really nice piece of art to go on the walls, or a few pieces of art or something that will also, I think if we can find some paintings maybe that have an orangish color scheme, maybe some autumn leaves or something, it could, fit into the orange room, but without being just like, okay, here we're putting a square of orange on the wall. It could give a little more depth to the room. Oh, thank you, Lociation. Yeah, I'm glad to know that people agree that those lamps are working well. I think I'm very satisfied with those chairs and lamps. And I do think that little love seat in the middle, I don't like it quite as well as the chairs, I think, but it still allows us to have something a little bit bigger. And it does seem like it's a similar enough look to the chairs that they both have they're kind of leggy with they're lifted up off the ground. They don't have, the legs are all thin instead of being heavy and chunky. So I think they work together pretty well. So now I need to figure out, I've got this table and I'm just trying to decide what looks best with it. I think maybe this chair here would complement the tablecloth better than the others. So I'm thinking I might go with that, and I still might use this chair somewhere. Maybe I might stick it over here against the wall as something that they could pull up if they have an extra guest and need more chairs or something of that sort. Okay, one thing I'm going to have to think about, since I only got one of each of these dining chairs, so I'm going to have to remember which one I used to come up with this over here. I know there were not too many that you could get in orange. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones from the base game, so hopefully it won't be too hard to find it again. Okay, it wasn't the pastel colored one because that one had the sort of peachy color. It was one of the ones that was upholstered, maybe like this one? No, I don't think this one comes in orange, but something similar to that. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for coming by. And yeah, I think you're right, Lociation. The light wood does help also. It kind of gives a little bit more lightness and just variety to the room. But thank you so much for coming by, and have a good evening. I really appreciate that you stopped in. It did not have arms, but it was upholstered. It would probably be something that's labeled as bright. Now that I think about it, maybe this here? Yes, I think this is the one. Yes, that's the one. Let me double check what that said. Leolo bright colored chair in orange. Okay, so now we will get enough of these to put around the table. Oops, the wrong thing, but that's okay because I need to move the table out a little bit more because I want to make sure there's room for chairs in the back and that they will not be too crowded. I don't want to encroach into the living room area, but I want to make sure that the people in the dining room also have enough room. Let's see how this fits over here. It looks like it will. And because it's a round table, I don't have to do the exactly across from each other. Sometimes it can be easier and sometimes it can be harder to set chairs around a round table. Let me check and see how well that's centered in the space. Okay, it actually looks like it's centered there pretty well. Okay, that actually can go a little further back, so maybe I can bring this over just slightly like that. And then we'll get some more chairs around here. Gotta be careful not to trip on the buckets of paint I've left sitting around in here. I left them because I don't know what things I might still end up repainting. Let's see, how many chairs is that? That's 8 chairs. Okay, that's a good amount around the table. They stick out a little further than I would prefer, but that's kind of how it is with the tables and chairs in this game. It often is pretty difficult to get the chairs very close to the table. Try and get them as close as I can without knocking the table over. It looks like as I keep moving the chairs, it's leaning a little more this way or that, but I think that that's only temporary. I think we'll be able to keep it from doing anything crazy. And it looks like there's enough room to get past the chairs into the kitchen, enough room to walk through the living room. The one place that's a little bit crowded is here with the footstool. I don't know. I might need to not use that. See if I can move it over just slightly. Maybe move that back some. Let's see how that looks. Maybe move this one a little bit too to kind of balance things. There. Yeah, it looks like the rooms are fairly well defined as kitchen, dining area, and living room, even though it's mostly a pretty open plan area. And this front area, I was wanting to make it into some kind of an entry hall type thing. I put this tile down thinking that could work well in the entry area, and it does help to define that area, but I felt like I needed to go over to that little area where the window goes and the wall juts out just slightly. It seemed like it's sort of the natural place between rooms. But then in order to keep it all on that side, that would kind of crowd the living room. So the living room's encroaching just a little bit into this entry area. But that could still work. I'm not sure what we want to do here. We do have this little table. It's kind of short for a table, but we do have the table that's there that's definitely an orange. And then I know that there is a thing, actually I might need to move the table to a different area because I think right by the door I'm gonna put a bench and shoe thing, and that has place for hanging coats and things. So let me look for that again. I put that in here before, but then I ended up taking it out when I was changing things around. So let's see, that would be in furniture corridor, I think. It's one of the newer items with the farm DLC. Yeah, and we get all different widths that we can choose from, and we can choose to have a back or no back, but I think I want to go with the one with the back because it gives hooks for hanging jackets and things, and it has a couple shelves up above. It looks like it would be good for storage, and it's got more options. Oh yeah, and the thing is, with this, you can actually change the seat to orange. So then I have to decide for these wood things what colors I want to use. Oops, wrong one that I'm changing. I think I want the backing wood to be pale bleached cedar, and then the framing wood I want to be something dark. We could go with brown oak maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be good. And I think I'm going to have this out from the wall just slightly because there's an outlet there, and it will not let me get rid of that outlet, which is really kind of annoying. But because this was a burned house, the outlet was something you had to fix, and I think that's why it won't let me move it. Although I'm going to try one more time and see. Is there any way I can get rid of this outlet? No, it just will not let me select it. Okay, and that's going to keep this from being able to go up against the wall. Now the table could go against the wall. I could try doing a shorter bench that could go on one side or the other of the outlet maybe. Let me see. This one was 150 centimeters. If I go with 100 centimeters, what would that be like? Let's take a look. This in orange, and then this in bleached, and this in bleached, and then this one with the brown oak. I think is what I want. I want to take another look at some of these others. We could go with beech or American elm, light bamboo, or the pale oak that they started with. As I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe I might prefer beech in here. So now let's see if this will fit. Could we fit? No, it won't fit on that side, but we could put it on this side right here, and then would the little table fit there next to it maybe? Because I feel like there should be something there. Yeah, that could fit there. I think the table I couldn't put back any further because of the outlet, but it's a narrow thing, so it probably could work to leave it sitting out slightly. And then this might give us a nice place to hang a mirror, because as people are walking in from outside, they probably would like a mirror to be able to check their hair and stuff, or as they're getting ready to leave the house. So that would be under decorations, mirrors, things that we could go with. I'm not sure what might work well with this. Oh, I do like these new mirrors that they have that are kind of like windows. That might be kind of a fun thing to use. I know that that will just be in wood tones, but I could match that to the brown oak on there. Oh my goodness, that is big. We will need to go with a somewhat smaller version. See what this one is like. It says small. Okay, that's much smaller. That looks okay. They also have a long version. Let's see how long the long version is. Yeah, I kind of like the long version of that. And I think I'm going to go with the dark wood on that one because we've got the light color on the walls there. So I think that stands out a little more. The orange on the seat is not terribly orange, but we have the orange table and the floor is definitely a bright orange. So now I just need to think what other things would be appropriate in this place. We've got the doors to the master bedroom area heading off, so we can't do a lot in that part of the hall, but at the same time, I don't want to leave it completely bare. So probably want to go with some kind of bench along there maybe. And then I'm thinking maybe some kind of a divider, just a small, something small that could help to really define this as being an entry area versus a, just part of the big room. Trying to remember, I think under plants, they have those living walls, and I think something like that might be a nice way to divide the room. Let's see, I'm looking, some of them go all the way to the ceiling, and some of them go part way. I was looking to see if I want to see if any of the flowers will give us a choice to do orange flowers. That would be kind of cool if we could do that, but I kind of doubt that any of the flower choices are orange. Yeah, I mean, we could go with yellow. That actually might do well with the rest of what we have going on here. And then we can do it in a light wood tone or a dark wood tone. None of these match the woods that came in with the new items in the game. So it won't match exactly. I mean, we could go with black because we have some black in here, but I don't know that I want to bring more black in. No. Okay, so, but I think I might still go with this with yellow. Let's see what it looks like with the light wood here. And what I want is to see if we can match it up right there with the wall. And then does the seat over here? Yeah, that seems like it still fits okay. Maybe turn it just a little bit. Kind of in an odd spot, but it gives an extra seat to pull up. And this helps to define our space, but without crowding. We can still walk. This makes a definite area to enter between the living room and dining room to walk through. So I think that's pretty good. This is a much larger entry than I would have chosen. Normally, I would not want to devote quite so much space to an area that is just doesn't really serve a purpose other than just that little bit as you're heading in or out the door, stopping to put things down or pick up things and check yourself in the mirror. This still is not wanting to go up against the wall. Let me see if I can. I thought maybe it may be that even doing this smaller sized one is not going to work. Could do it along that back wall. It just makes more sense to have something like that a little bit closer to the doorway. Oh, that's a good idea, Moon. Moon is suggesting maybe stacking composite boards, the surfaces could make some of the furniture work better and then sell them. I have seen things like that where people will put something under something that they want to put and then they sell it and the thing drops down and it ends up staying there when it wouldn't normally allow it to sit there. That is a really interesting idea. Let's see, what was I going to try and do? Oh yeah, I wanted to see, I think I can still get a smaller bench of the style that I was looking at. Back in furniture and corridor. The menus always take a little while going back and forth. Here we go. Yeah, there's a 75 centimeter one. Seems a little bit on the small side, but we'll go ahead and just take a look and see what that's like. Put that in orange. See if that allows us to sit it right up next to the wall, because that's what I want to find out about. I don't think there's anything other than that outlet that's causing the issue, but yeah, for whatever reason, it does not want to sit directly against the wall. Let's see how far do I have to move it out? Yeah, I have to move it out quite a bit. Okay, change of plans. I think I'm gonna put one of those things on this back wall. I'll go with a nice large one since we've got a pretty big space there to fill. I'm gonna go back to the same colors. I think I figured out what colors I like on there. And then put it over here, and that does fit nicely in that space. And then I think I will use this space here for maybe one of the other hall cabinet things that they have, or I could do one of the seats, but maybe like one of these wardrobe things so that people have a place to put their coats and things where it comes in coffee. Let's see how, and it also comes in brown coffee. That one looks yellower, but I think the coffee one looks a little bit orangey. It's not a perfect orange, but it's not quite orange. It's not quite brown. But oh, that's going to give us the same problem though. Almost anything I try to sit over there is going to probably do that. Maybe I will end up just putting a large plant over there, or I could probably do something like one that doesn't give us an orange option. I was hoping maybe it would. They don't have any bright ones. I think a table could work, but one of these poof things also could work if we can find one. Since we can't do orange, I'll try and go with a sort of a neutral color. Okay, that one's too long, but I'm thinking we might be able to put something like that, because sometimes the things with legs, it seems like will sit down in places that things that are supposed to be solid won't. So I think I will put that right there. So we've got a lot of places to sit in here, but that's fine. And I was trying to decide if I want to put anything over on that side, but I think we'll just leave that as is. And then I do think I might put some plants alongside the seat back here. Just, it's nice to have some plants in a room. It gives it cozy feel. So decorations, plants, large, because I'm thinking some kind of an upright plant. I don't want something that's gonna poof over the edges really far, but if there's something that's just sort of upright, this might do. And then let's see. I want to try and avoid a lot of color on here. We could do something like that maybe. Well, that's not quite as tall as I was thinking it was, but it does look like that could fit into those areas. I'm going to look at some others, but I might come back to this turmeric. That could be a good thing. What about this here? Oh, that's taller than I realized. I mean, I was looking for something tall, but it is tall and it's also a little bit wider than I realized, so that's just not going to fit there. I was looking to see if I could find an orange on the azaleas, but no. Lots of variations of pinks and reds and white, not orange. And that has red or pastel rose. Again, it's not necessary that there be orange flowers. Now, a crane flower, though, is orange. And if I go just with that white flower pot, that could work right there, I think. If I move it around a little bit, have to make sure it's not cutting into anything. Well, it's kind of, the leaves are up against the chair, but I think it looks okay, and the game said it was okay. I want to see if I can move this at all. I can move it some, but okay, if I move it too much, the leaf is going to go through there. Even that. I was hoping I could manage that, but okay. Maybe I'll just move this over a little bit more to that side so we have plenty of room over here for the flower. And then I will get rid of this one. It doesn't have to all be symmetrical. Then I think I can bring the flower this way more. There, I feel like that fills the space a little bit better. And then I'm going to need to find some things to put on the little table here. Oh, and now that we don't have that tall thing there, I might switch and do that larger mirror. I didn't end up stacking composite boards yet, Moon, but I do think that I will try to keep that in mind because that does sound like such a good idea. I just didn't notice what you said soon enough to really do anything with it right now, but I have a feeling I will be using that tip. Sometimes it takes me a while, though, to remember all the things, the tricks that I've seen people use. I forget, but then after a few times of them being repeated, then it's like, oh yeah, and then I start incorporating them. Thank you. I'm sure it will come in handy. Okay, so let's see. What was I doing? I was looking for decorations, mirrors, down at the ones that look like windows. Oh, thank you, Charlotte, for following. I really appreciate that. Always glad to have new friends come in and join us. Thanks so much. And I hope you will enjoy watching as I attempt to try and figure out how to decorate with almost entirely orange and trying to see if I can still make something that looks like it has a design and is intended and not just throwing every orange thing in that we could do. I think we've gotten pretty good. Oh, we need to switch out this lamp now. We've got that one lamp over for the living room area, but we need something over the dining table. So let's see what options we have. Lights, ceiling lamps. Okay, this is another one that I could put in an orange. Yeah, I think I will do that. I didn't have to go with orange for the lamp. I could have just done, a metallic thing, but since we did have something with an orange option, I want to try and go ahead and incorporate that. I don't think I have that placed correctly. It can be so challenging with lights to get them centered. I know there's a tool for it in the Steam Labs. I should really grab that and try and use that to center my lamp, because they almost always end up not looking the same from when you're in one spot, they look centered, and then you go to another spot and they just look like they're very off center. This, I feel like, needs to go back this way just a little further. I think that's pretty close, but then I got it a little too far to the left here, so I want to keep it about that far back, but a little more to the right. Maybe like that. It's probably good enough for now, and then I'll have to try later and see if I can use the tool to center that better. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this orange bar stool, even though I like those, but I think it's nice to have that little bit of the striped fabric in the kitchen along with the wood tone, since everything else is pretty much solid orange of one variation of orange or another. That gives a little bit of interest. I feel like having a little bit of a pattern helps to make it feel a little bit more interesting. And I'm thinking maybe in this area I might put this rug here, because it looks like this could be a good rug for stepping on when you come in from outside, to just kind of keep the rest of the house a little neater. It's not quite a welcome mat, but it's something where you step onto that and it just kind of keeps things a little bit tidier in the house. So I think that could work for that. I might as well go out here and get rid of that now, because we decided not to use it. I actually feel like these 3 or 4, depending on how you count it, main rooms are looking pretty good. Some accessories and decorations would need to be added, but I feel like the furniture and lights and rugs and things are pretty good, and the flooring, paint. Yeah, I feel like all of that I'm pretty happy with. We've got the dark orange on one side of the room, and the rest is all painted with this lighter orange, which I think helps keep it from being quite so overwhelming and intense. It still gives it that dark thing that kind of gives something solid feeling to the room, gives it some stability, but then the other lighter paint on the walls helps keep the room feeling lighter. And then we have the dark tablecloth there with the light walls, and then the windows, of course. And then we have these lighter orange things against the dark orange wall. So that, I feel like that works out pretty well. Now, over in this area, we have a number of different options of orange type beds, but I'm inclined to go with the one with the fans here, even though I can't say that that's entirely orange, but I feel like I could put that in a room where everything else is orange, and that could kind of be the accent thing. That it does definitely have plenty of orange in there. It just has other colors as well. So I think I'm going to try that, and I want to get these other beds out of here now so that I can start moving things around, because I want to divide this space into a nice bedroom for the parents, and then a nursery for their little one, and a restroom, some kind of closet or wardrobe. I'm not sure if we will do something built in, a walk-in closet thing, or if we will go with a piece of furniture like a wardrobe. Now, the elephant thing does not really fit with the fans, although, I mean, you could say they are both, like we could do a room with kind of a travel theme, possibly, of pieces from different parts of the world, like where they've gone traveling and brought things home. This little chest here, I think, could work in either the parents' room or the nursery. And for the nursery, I couldn't find a lot of orange for the nursery, but this mattress, it looked like it's kind of an orange and white stripe on that sheet. And then we've got the orange on the changing table. So I think that will work. I'm just trying to decide. So let's see if we have, well, let me see how many square meters this room is. It's 33 square meters. And I think the bedrooms usually are at least 18 square meters, but that's a little snug. Something like 22, 24 square meters is a nice size, and you can even go bigger than that. There's a lot of bedrooms that do go quite a bit bigger than that. And then for a bathroom, you need at least 5 square meters for a basic bathroom, but 7 to 8 is a little bit better. For the baby's room, I think that has to be 10 square meters, if I remember right, but it might be 20 as well. So let's see if we have, yeah, 20 and 20 would not work. That would be more than we have here, but I think if we did even 20 and 10, that would only leave 3 for the bathroom. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze trying to figure this out. I want to look at something. I want to look how much space there was around here still. I was trying to keep the two sides of the house kind of even, but there is space that I could technically extend this further if I need to. So let's go back in for now. We'll see if we could make things work in here. I'm not sure also if we want to come where we want the rooms to be relative to each other. Do we want a bathroom that has a door where other people could come in, or I'm thinking probably keep it just a master bath in here, an ensuite bathroom for the master bedroom, and then we'll do the nursery. Okay, so I was actually thinking, let's see, we could maybe do a nursery, a closet, and a bathroom across the back, and then do the bedroom on the front area. Let's see how that could work. Don't know about that, but we'll just give it a try. So let's see. Maybe turn the bed the other direction, because I think that we're going to be needing a little bit of space in that direction. Let's see how many tiles we're going across here. We got, okay, I'm going to move the bed again so that I can measure this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put that there to mark it, because otherwise I will lose count. So this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's right. I'd done that before, and it's 22 in that direction. Now let's knock this down again. So if it was 21 and we divided it by 3, that would give us 7 if we're making them all exactly the same width. I'm thinking for a walk-in closet, we could probably go with maybe 6 across. Oh, of course, the walls are going to take up spaces too, so I do have to consider that. Maybe we'll do 5, and then the wall will be number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it with 5, and I'm going to put that on number 5. We will not make the closet really wide because I think it's going to be somewhat long, and I think we can manage it that way. Actually, what I should do is I should check the wardrobe things. Furniture, bedroom, wardrobes. There's lots of styles of the wardrobe pieces for walk-in closets, and I don't think it really makes a difference. I think they're all going to be just wood tone, or they could be painted in colors, but they're colors that we're not using right now. So the wood tone ones are probably the best. We could do open or closed ones. I think I would like the ones, we could do it just like in white, maybe. I think that might be good. That has coffee. That actually, let's see, that's kind of orangey. Okay, but that does not fit in that space. So if I want to use those, I would need the space to be a little bit wider. Okay, maybe I will knock this wall down, move it over 1, and see if that would give us enough room to use that type of wardrobe. Let's see, am I too close? Oh, I might have had it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll imagine that coming out. It's going to be very narrow for them to get back here, but I think it would be possible, and we could even put a window in there, a little wardrobe area that way. So let me see. I'm going to put another section of wardrobe, and I will do that one in coffee also. Turn this to stand over here to see what I'm doing. There. Okay. So now I think I can build, yes, I can build a wall right there. And then I'm not sure exactly how far I want to go with that, but we'll stop there for now. And I think we could put the bathroom and then the nursery. Let's see how we can manage this as far as, let's see how much is left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, well, thank you, Moon, for your word ban. That's... And, you know, I'm sure that was going to be coming up in stream right away, and you stopped it just in time. That's great. Thank you. Okay, so this is 17 across. 1 will be for the wall, so that leaves us 8 for the bathroom and 8 for the nursery. And we will see if that's going to be enough for the width of these. Now, go back to this and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1 more, and that's where we will do the wall. What I want to do is, once I get this wall built, I want to go into the bathroom area and see how many square meters it ends up being. Let's see, if I was to go, I don't know which direction I will go with that bed. I'm thinking probably I should turn this way, and then there could be room for nightstands on each side and still be able to get past the bed over into these other rooms. Double check. I think I'll put this cabinet over against this wall for now. Get it out of the way. And yeah, this can actually come over quite a bit more in this direction. That way we have room that we could build these out a little further, and I think I want to do that. Maybe to there, and then we'll start building across. See what that gives us for bathroom size. Room for the doorway. And bring this out right to there. Should meet up. And
hey Moon, I have a question. Does singing it count as a IRL band?
Did you catch that, Moon? First is over here asking if singing. Yeah, I think it's probably good that we've banned him from singing that. That could be scary. Okay, well, this is 5 meters. That's kind of the minimum for a bathroom. But, I mean, you actually can technically get one in 4 meters, but that's really pushing it. But I think that could work. And then that gives us room over here. So I'm going to put the baby's bed back. I'm turning it the other way again. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll put it there, that next to it. Yeah, I think the baby's nursery might come out a little bit further than the bathroom and the wardrobe, because this section, I think for the master bedroom, they don't need it to go all the way across, and it would be nice to give a little bit of that room to the nursery. That's probably enough. I want to make sure I have room to put like a rocking chair in here and a place for some toys. Okay, see you later. What's this give us? That's only 7 square meters. I think that is too small to count as a child's room, so I might actually need to extend this further. Either that, or we could remove the wardrobe and move the bathroom. Yeah. First takes care of a lot of things on my stream, and that means a lot of times I don't know what's going on, so that's okay. I'm thinking maybe I want to remove that closet after all and reposition these other things. And then if there is a space at the end that looks like it would work well for the closet, we can do that at that time. So this is how I do with my builds. It's a lot of trying things and then getting rid of what I try, and building things, tearing them down. I'm sure we will come up with more commands. Oh yeah. It's definitely, this is a learning process for me, and First has had a little more experience streaming, so he knows a little bit more about what can be done, but it still takes him a little time to, get everything ready, because he has his own stream he's dealing with, as well as trying to help keep mine up and running. Yeah, I'm usually, when I'm watching streams, I don't mind if there's ads. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I feel like if that's something that's allowing that person to be able to stream and they couldn't otherwise, then go for it. I prefer not to have ads on my stream, but a lot of that is up to Mr. First as to what he makes possible and stuff. I don't always know what can be done. Okay, so I need to build this across here. I think I put that back just where it was. I don't know what I was doing. You have a few sound clips for my thing already, I think, don't you? But I don't think I have near as many as you do. But I'm sure that the community could come up with some fun ways to troll me, because I know we've got a lot of people who are quite good at that. And I am fine with being trolled. That's part of the fun. So now I'm gonna move this. I think I'll put the door right here and get rid of this other doorway. I know First has a boom on his. It's like a gunshot boom. He actually got literally IRL scared when he heard it one time too, because he didn't realize what it was. He thought he was hearing something outside, and he got up and was like running around the house to make sure everything was okay. And it was just the game. It was only that one time. Ever since then, he knows what it is, but it still startles him because it's loud and sudden. And when you get caught up in your game, okay, this is now 7 meters. That will make for a nice sized bathroom area. Although that doesn't allow me to expand the baby's room unless I move this wall over, which will cut into that 7 meters, but we could probably cut into it a bit, maybe have 6 meters for the bathroom and have a good sized room for the baby as well. I'm trying to work with a combination of what seems like it would work and what the game will recognize. So like for the nursery, I don't think it necessarily needs to be as large as what they consider to be a child's room, but I do want it to count as a bedroom for the baby. So the only way to do that is to make it large enough. I'm gonna try and give them a little bit more room. So let's see. We'll come over a couple of spaces from where we were and see how much change that makes. Yes, he has a creeper sound too. I mean, that wouldn't be quite the same for me as it is for you because I don't play Minecraft. So I don't have that, oh my goodness, there's a creeper nearby thing. But if it's just a loud, creepy noise, then it could still work in that way. Okay, that gives us 6 square meters for the bathroom. Now, gonna try and fix this. Okay, I probably don't really want to bring that section over more because I need to make sure there's room for the people to walk around their bed. Could maybe go over 1 from where it is. see what this looks like. They're still going to have some room in their bedroom over here, so that could be room for a dresser or a wardrobe or something. So now, what does this leave for room for the baby? Okay, that's 9 square meters. So we're getting closer, but we're still not quite there. So I think I need to bring that out a little bit, make a longer room. The reason I decided to try and go over with it is I didn't want it to be too much of a long, skinny room. I want it to have some width as well as length. Let's see. Okay, I ended up, that's where I had just put some of that, but I don't know, I'll have to decide how close I can get out there. But now what I need mostly is I've got to move outward. That's what I was trying for. Take down the lintels first, they're easy to get rid of, and then knock down some of the wall too. Okay, is that all? Yeah, that's all coming out. Okay, so I'm gonna go out a little ways further here, maybe to here. That may be more than we need, but for now, I'm gonna see how that does. I think I need to keep this wall where I had it. So we're gonna have some zigzags here, and that's a little bit of a tight squeeze through there, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I can continue this wall on till it's even with that, and then I will knock this other section down. Okay, is that 4 across? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think I went one further than I should have. We'll take this one down. I'm definitely building up my skills in renovation and demolition. Now we will put our lintels up there, and then we can go in and figure out what size this room is. Yay! Now it's 11 meters. So I could even move this over just a little bit so that there's more room to get around the bed. I think I will do that. I should be able to remove that, move it over one, and still keep the room 10 meters or more, I think. If not, then I will be moving walls again. For now, I'm gonna try this because I think it will work. Instead of going over right there, we're gonna bring this out and one more, and then go this way. I think that will work. And I'm quite curious to see how many meters that leaves us with in here. Yes, 10 square meters exactly. Okay, we've got that little jog in the wall, but I think we will be able to work with that just fine. The room overall looks like it's got plenty of space. It's not too narrow or anything, so it will be fun to be arranging things in here. I know I'm gonna need some more things before I get it to actually be considered a child's bedroom, because you need to have a carpet on the floor, I think, and some toys. I don't remember everything that has to be in a child's room, but I know that there are a few more things. But this leaves them with 14 square meters for the bedroom. So it's not a real big bedroom. Obviously, you have to kind of skirt things, but it does give them enough room to have their own bathroom in their bedroom suite, and they're able to have their baby right here next to them. Baby has their own room, but they know that they're close by, so they are going to know what's going on with the baby. So that works. This area here, we've got room left in here, but it's the space that we have is a little bit awkward, especially because we've got doors there and a door there. Oh goodness, my dogs have heard something outside. Oh, Stretch, that sounds like a good idea. Thank you. I do forget to do that sometimes. My dogs are going crazy out in the living room. Earlier today, we had 3 little fawns in our yard. They were so young that they didn't know to be scared of people. When our kid, Spawn, came through, they were getting out of the car after being out and about. They came into the house and the fawns did not even run away. They just sat there eating leaves and things, and they were so cute with their polka dots on them. They were still definitely young, not newborn, but young enough that they probably had not had much experience with people yet. And they were just fine for a long time, but then the dogs noticed them out the window because I was sitting there watching them out the window. And the dogs noticed them and they got really excited. And then just as I was trying to get them calmed down, somebody came walking their rather large dog past our house going on a walk. And between the deer and the dog, our dogs got so excited they just did not know what to do with themselves for a while. Yes, I did stretch. I caught that. I stretched and I even did a bonus hydrate. Because once I started thinking about that, I was like, yeah, I should really do that. Okay, I'm going to move this for a minute. It's not letting me sit it there. Okay, move it over here for just a minute. I want to move this over this way. I'm not sure which of those I want to have over in that, but we have a little nook there that I'm not quite sure how I want to use. And this part of the bedroom, there's just all these jogs. I would have loved it if I could have made it to where we didn't have this little jog there, but because part of this was the frame of the original house, it would not let me move that. So yeah, I was able to put doors in, and I don't know, somehow this part, I don't know what that was. That was maybe one of the interior walls of the original house. Okay, I'll hydrate again. Always glad to have more water. So we end up with this really awkward little space here. We had what was a large space, but it gets kind of awkward trying to fit everything we need in here because you have to have walkways between things. I mean, we could take the bed over there, but that just, for one thing, it feels crowded, and for another, it has one person up against the wall, and then finally it doesn't match up with the rest of the wall over here. I wanted to see, that one section has more room, so I thought put the bed over there, but then it blocks this. So I don't know of any better placement for the bed than what I was doing before. Did I get that all the way up there? Okay, I moved it over more, but I didn't put it back quite as far. Okay, so let's see if we can get around everything now. Yeah, that gives... Okay, well, this does not give them a place to have an ordinary, like a nightstand. If it's right like this, that person is kind of up against a wall. There's a little jog there, but I think I want to move it over a bit more so that they have room to get in and out of bed, and hopefully we could get a little nightstand in here. I want to go for one of the smallest nightstands. Oh, I did get more stuff with all my building and tearing down and everything. I've got a new upgrade. I think I'm gonna go with the lower building price because I want to do a lot of building and I don't really want to run out of money. And since I only fairly recently started this game over, I have less money than I did previously, so I do have to consider that. Yes, thank you. I love that bed too. I wasn't thinking of the 70s vibe, but I guess now that you say that, yeah, there is something of that to it. But I just think that that's so pretty, and I think we could do orange walls in here and things, and orange carpet, and this having just the touches of orange in it will tie it all together, but without it being, overwhelming that everything is completely orange. I'm gonna go to nightstands. that's bathroom. I can read sometimes. Furniture, bedroom, bedside cabinets. I wonder what the skinniest bedside cabinet is. That one's pretty skinny. Let's see, does that have options? It does have options for the color. I think I might want to go with something light since I'm thinking I might go somewhat dark with the walls in here. Do kind of a deep red orange or something, at least for maybe the wall behind the bed. I think I can move this over one thing too, and that still gives them enough room to get into bed. And we could actually put a larger nightstand on this side. I think we'll do something, try and have it to where it's not totally matching. Possibly one of these. Oh, they have taller and shorter ones, it looks like. Okay, and right now it's in bamboo. That looks pretty good. And then they've got the pale bleached cedar. Yeah, I think I actually might want to just go with that the way it is. I think that could look nice here. And I think it's kind of nice having a longer rectangle thing and then the round thing over on the other side, just to look like they're intentionally not wanting to have everything matching. Does this go back further? It looks like, yeah, it does. It looked like the other nightstand was farther back than this one was. There we go. Okay, and so I would have liked to have given them a walk-in wardrobe, but I don't think that's in the cards. But I think we could give them a wardrobe of some kind over there next to the bed. And then we've got the area down there too, where right now we've got a cabinet or a dresser. We had the other elephant dresser that I moved. Oh, I moved it into the baby's room for now. So let me start by seeing what wardrobe choices we have. I often do this like I am right here, where I leave the walls totally bare and I put the furniture in, and that helps me pick out that dark orange in the flowers. Yes, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was wanting to try and find. So I will match that one if I can to the best of my ability. They've got quite a few paint colors now, so I think I should be able to get pretty close to that. I go back and forth, but a lot of times when I'm not sure how I want to arrange things, I find that it helps me to get the furniture in, and then from there I'm able to go ahead and do the other things. For one thing, I mean, because like in here, I keep moving walls. And so I never know when I'm going to tear something down, and there's not much point painting it and then, tearing it down again. I'm thinking one of these with the mirrors on it might be nice. They've got quite a few different options. What was this bed called? I think it was this one. Or no? Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was this one that I got. That's the Mime. Might look and just see what wardrobes they have that go with that, but I may very well skip and do something different anyway. I'm not actually seeing something that says Mime. Oh, did I pass it? Okay. Thanks for catching that. I could have been looking all day. Oh, okay, that's right. It was this. Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I would have thought of to be something to go with that particular bed. I mean, that could work, but I mean, I think it can fit could fit there. That actually might not be too bad. Let me check if I could fit one of these other dressers next to it. That almost could fit, but not quite. What about this one? I think that's gonna also be too long. Yeah, okay. If I could find something shorter, it would be nice. Not necessary, but it would be nice. Of course, that one's a pretty small one as the wardrobes go. I may go back to that. For now, I'm just gonna start trying different things in here just to see the sizes of things. That's very big. Some of the new ones give you choices. I'm having trouble talking right now, but yes, some of them give you choices on the size. So let's see. I want to see what 200 centimeters. Oh, that would be quite big. Okay, well then there was one that was 150. Maybe let's see what deep chestnut looks like. Okay, that it could fit there. It doesn't. There wouldn't be room for a dresser there, but it does have a mirror for them at least. I mean, they do have even skinnier wardrobes. I wonder how large this one is. It doesn't say, so I'm just take a look. I think that one is actually a little bit narrower, so I might be able to fit something next to it. Let's just take a look and see if that could work. No, it's narrower, but not quite narrow enough. Unless I was to move the doorway over one. I wonder what would happen if I was to do that. Okay, yeah, that would not work because the door would be opening into the bench there. So, yeah, not gonna do that. I really would like to be able to get both this elephant dresser and that other orange dresser in here, but this orange dresser could also be in the baby's room because that does look like a size dresser that could work well for putting baby clothes in, although there's also other things that probably could work just as well for that, or maybe better. I'm just not sure which one of these I want to keep, and I don't think there's room to put them both over in this area. No, there's definitely not. There's a little bit more room than we need for just one, but not enough room for more than one. Okay, so this, what could we put next to that? Probably not something, I mean, we could put a seat where they could sit down while they're changing. But I think I'm going to go back to that other dresser that had the mirrors, because if I don't try and put anything else there, that actually worked quite well. Do the deep chestnut. I'm going with the larger size. Make sure that there's enough room to walk past it. That might be a problem. Well, oh yeah, there's not really enough room to walk there unless we were to move the bed over some the other way, which I could technically do. I mean, I could even go with a slightly smaller nightstand, but even with this one, I did not put the bed over quite as far as could have. I want to make sure they have room to walk on this side too, but it looks like they do have enough room to walk to the bathroom, and now this does allow room to walk over to the bed and past the wardrobe. So I think that will do, and that will give them lots of space for their clothes, and they have a place to see themselves as they're dressing. I'm thinking I might be able to put a small seat over here, although they could also just sit on the bed. I might put plant there or something. And then I kind of wanted to use this just because it's one of the few things in the game that is just really a intense orange, but I don't feel like that's right for the baby's room. So let's look and see what we can find now for baby's room. I want to look and see what things we could find in the way of a carpet, because now I think all of these, well, they have that coffee which looks kind of orangish. Could possibly go with something like that. It's sort of a seasonal thing, but that one is not absolutely a Christmas thing. It doesn't have trees or anything. Oh, now this would be a very cute carpet in a kid's room. It really isn't orange, but it looks it's got kind of a peachy background, and then it's got red and yellow on there. It kind of, sometimes when I'm looking at it, it seems like it's got kind of an orange background. When you look at the clip of it, it looks like it's got an orange background. And I think that might be about as orange as any of the carpets that come with the game. Yeah, this has red and yellow, no orange. Now there's this, but that's actually considered red, I believe, or pink. I wonder if I buy it and look. It's probably more pink than orange. Now there were some that I found from the Steam Workshop, so I can take a look at those. let's see, decorations. There we go. I know there were not a lot of orange, but we found that one for the living room. There might be something else would have a pattern and look kind of like it's mostly orange, or at least somewhat orange. This colorful rug, what color? Okay, there is some orange in that, so that's a possibility. Nice flowered carpet. And what about this one? Okay, that's a different option, but does not look as much like orange. Oh, this could be really cute in a kid's room. I like that. There's a nice little oval orange carpet with daisies on it. That looks bright and cheerful, and like that would be perfect for a kid's room that's going to be mostly in orange. Now for the kids' room, I want to go with a very pale orange on the walls, that is. Oh, but I do have something that I might do on one wall as an accent in renovation walls. Somewhere down here, I have a thing. Well, there's the Owly Fun wallpaper is one that we could use, and that would be fun for a kid's room. But there is also a baby animals one that has a lot of orange in it. Yeah, it's got foxes and things, so there's lots of orange in there, and I feel like that could be really nice for a baby's room, having lots of little baby animals on the wall. So I think I might do that, and actually maybe I'll put a section of it up for now so that I can look back and forth at it, because what I'm thinking, I want to do a very pale orange on the rest of the room, I think, because I do want it to look like, for a baby, I don't want it to be overwhelmingly bright in here. We've already got a lot of bright orange accents. So I think for the wall itself, I want to go with paint in an orange. I'm going to get a gradient set orange. Okay, and we're going to look for a very pale orange that looks good with these other things. So we've got, this one is, what was that called? Gold Champagne. It's almost more of a yellow cream than an orange, but it's in the orange section and it could work. We also have this Strawberry Milk, which is a little bit more of a pinky peach. And we've got the Sweet Apricot. I just realized I'm getting medium-sized things of all this. I meant to get just small, but oh well. I think Melon Pulp is what I used out in the other rooms. It was actually lighter than it looks on there, but I might try Peach Breath. Ooh, I think the Peach Breath looks like it might go the best with everything in here, but I want to see what they look like on the walls, because a lot of times the paint looks quite a bit different on the walls than it does in the can, which is also different than in the little swatches that they show you. So it helps if you look at it on the wall. That's the best way to really get an idea of what it's going to look like. Okay, now that one's much more intense than I had realized. When looking at it in the can, I thought it looked good, but it looks a lot darker on the wall. So I am thinking that I may not want to go with that on the wall. But now what I want to do, I want to bring this over. If I can, I gotta find where to pick it up. Okay, there it is. It's up at the top. And then spin it around. Kind of want to see what this would look like with each of these other things. Okay, it looks like with the creamy color at the very end there, I think that would look really nice together. I think those middle colors don't look like they would go quite as well with it. The darker one actually would probably work just fine with that, but I just want to make sure I don't have everything dark. So now I want to look at the crib next to these things. Yeah, those middle two definitely look like they would not be the best options. They'd probably go fine with the carpet, but I think overall they just look too much red in them. And the other things, I think have quite a bit more yellow. So we will eliminate those two. But now I want to look back at these others. Which ones did I get? I got the gold champagne, and that was the one that really seemed a little bit too light. Peach breath is the one I think that ended up being darker than what I expected. Oh, the strawberry milk and the sweet apricot. Okay, was it sweet apricot? No, that was definitely one of the pinkier ones, I think. So I think it was the peach breath that ended up being more intense than what I was thinking it was going to. Yes, that's the peach breath. So we could try stepping down one from the peach breath and up one from the gold champagne and try the desert sand. I think I've used that before. It's not something I normally consider orange, but I think in this it might actually work better than, well, no, that really is not quite. Okay, why did that? I must not have gotten complete coverage on some of those. Well, that actually is okay, but the peach breath one that I thought was too dark might be okay. And thank you, Moon. I agree that wallpaper is really cute. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I need to find something to use this on because it is just so adorable. I could totally imagine just doing a baby's room around that. Okay. I think I convinced myself that the peach breath, even though it's darker than I originally planned, that it would look good with the other things in here. So I think I'm going to do that. I don't know if I want to try and keep this wood floor or put in a carpet, like a wall-to-wall carpet. We got the small carpet, which we need to have that for it to count as a children's room. And now that I think about it, that's from the Steam Workshop, so it may not count. I don't know if it will have that tag or whatever it needs to count for the baby's room. So if that doesn't work, we might end up having to go with another little carpet. But we could do a wall-to-wall carpet and then do a smaller carpet over it. I don't need to paint that one. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do any other walls with I think I might do the two walls that are parallel to each other there that jog over. I think I might do both of those. Okay, yes, I can reach this, thanks. They seem to think I can't reach, but I can, and I do not want to use the stepladder because the stepladder is really hard to use sometimes. Okay, so my plan is to move this back over against this wall somewhere. Maybe I want to put the baby's bed over here, and because that's a somewhat narrower area. Put the baby's bed there and the changing table, and then use this area over here as sort of a play area. We could put some shelves with toys and things over here. We could also put a rocking chair back in this part of the room, I think. So yeah, I think that could work. I do want to fit a wardrobe in here too, but maybe next to the changing table. Although I think you can actually count a changing table in place of a wardrobe in a baby's room, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, so I need to go back to my wallpaper. Oh yes, and one thing that's really nice with this wallpaper is they actually have some prints for the walls and things that go along with it. So you can add other decorations that match and have those same little animals. And I don't remember what else, but there were a few different things that you could match up and give them a nice theme for their room. I love how these little animals they look all floppy and everything. Like especially that moose. Okay, that does not fit perfectly. This is not going to let me go into the wall there. So I'm going to have to think about what I do with that. I mean, I could just do a painted section if I need to, or I could switch and put these on a different wall. Maybe that's what would work best, because the other wall is just one long straight thing without all these jogs. So maybe I will try that and just switch. I was going to put this opposite the crib because I felt like the zigzag stuff of the crib I thought was a little distracting against that animal wallpaper, but if I move this back over here, once I gotta move the carpet out of the way. It's like playing musical chairs, except it's musical furniture in general. I think we can put this bed over there where it kind of jogs over. That's actually a nice place to be able to place that. That's a little bit out of the way. Now we're not going to be able to put this thing next to it, I think. Or, oh, maybe it will fit. I didn't think it would, but I guess it's worth trying things before deciding they won't work. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Those both go there. And so I will paint these walls, and then I will go ahead and wallpaper on the other side of the room. And now I'm thinking I might still keep a play area down at this end, but maybe put the rocking chair down there so that when you're first walking in the room, that can be where the rocking chair is, kind of out of the way of everything else. We'll see as we go. Okay, so now put up the wallpaper, and I hope that it is even to do it all the way along the wall. Oh, we've got more painting skill, and I'm going to go with less paint usage. Faster painting would also be good, but I will do that next. But I think it's good to be able to use things sparingly and be economical. So now we will get the wallpaper back again. Go back into the store. Here we go. Sweet animal sliders. Okay. And I like that now you see it right away when you walk in, and yet it's not all broken up either. So I think this will be good to have this wall be the one with the cute little animal wallpaper. And yes, it fits just perfectly there. That is great. And we've got the white background, or whitish, on there, and we've got the white changing table and the whitish bed. Both of them have orange, and then the rug is orange with the white flowers on it. So I think the colors all kind of tie in together to at least some degree. Okay, and so now I want to bring in a rocking chair. I'm just going to search for rocking chair because I know there's a bunch of them and they are in different places. I think I might like, well, see, now there's nothing. Oh, there is one that actually could come with an orange. Okay, I was going to go with another one, but I decided I'm going to switch to this because if there's an orange option, I'm going to use the orange option. That's just, I told myself this is going to be an orange build, so there we go. That's a nice place that the parents can come in and rock the baby back to sleep if they need to. And then I want to put some shelves for toys, and I want to put some kind of little wardrobe, a kid's wardrobe. So we'll look for furniture, kids, wardrobes and cabinets. I want to go with one of the really small ones because baby is not going to need a lot of wardrobe space. Oh, they do have these cute patterned ones. Well, they've got a forest animals one, and we've got animal theme in here, but it's a different one. It looks pretty different and does not really have any orange in it. I think I'm not going to go with that, even though that would be fun. But none of these others are going to really have orange options either, although I think the light colored ones do give us a coffee option, or a brown coffee, beige. I think the beige is, or no, the coffee is the one that looks the most orange. Okay, so I'm gonna do this in coffee, and we'll see what size this is. I think it's bigger than the one I was thinking of originally, but yeah, I think I want to try and find a smaller one. I would like one that does have a little bit of room for hanging clothes, not just chest of drawers. I'm not seeing the light colored one that I was looking for. Okay, well, there's this light colored. Okay, I guess I could try that. We will go with coffee and then white wood. Yeah, I think that could go over here without impeding the rocking chair. And then we could put some shelves back along the back. Maybe try something like this. That doesn't want a place there. Maybe I need to move the rug first. Let's try that. Yeah, That could go there. But what I want to see is, can I get one going the other direction? No, it won't. Oh, yes, it will. I can do two of them next to each other right there. I think that makes a kind of cute toy place for a kid. Okay, I could put the carpet right there, or I could move it over out into the room. But I think I want to put it over there because I think if the baby was old enough to get out and play with toys, that would make a nice soft place for them to play with their toys. Oh, and look, we now have this counting as a children's room. So we put in enough children's furniture in here that it triggered the thing. So it is counting as a children's room. Now, one thing I did not do in this room yet is I did not put any windows in here because I wanted to see where everything was going to be first. Now that I've put wallpaper on that wall, I can't really put any windows over there because I don't think this wallpaper has ones for above and below windows. I think it only has the full strips. So that wall's going to have to be full, but I think this other wall here could have some windows. I guess I should go out and see what windows we have in the rest of the house so I can try and make things match to some degree. Oh yes, we had these Purim windows, I think is what they were called. And then I also used some of these floor to ceiling ones. I don't remember what they were called, but I used those there because it was a way I could actually get rid of part of the wall. I don't know if you know that, but the walls are two cubes wide on the outer walls. But if you put a window in there, it gets rid of that two cube wall. And so if you have just a row of windows, you get one extra tile's worth of space. Yeah, the Evelon, that's the ones. So I don't think I will use Evelon in any other places. The window down in the kitchen and the ones here are both the Purim. So I think I will stick with that in general. Oops, I don't need to go outside. I just want to go back in here and then we will see what Purim windows we have that could go in here over things without going too low. Windows, down to Purim. They're near the bottom. I don't know for sure what these different sizes will look like, so I just want, okay, that, I don't know if that will fit with the shelves that we have there. I think it could. It also goes either all the way to one side or the other, so I might want to go with a smaller version. I liked that one, but I think I'll go with maybe the 200 by 150, and that's not going to be, I can't center it, but I can at least make it to where it's got a little bit of wall on each side of the window. So I think that will be the best we can do with this. And then let me pull out my paint roller. Let's see if we still have enough paint on it to paint these. Looks like it. I mean, we do still have our paint bucket out there if we need it, but I figured I'll just avoid having to go get it if I can. Oh, nope. Gonna have to go fill the roller. I wonder if I would be able to get any kind of curtains up on that window. Could probably do blinds at least, but curtains probably could work or might work, but I'm not sure if there's room enough on the one side. You hear the puppy, huh? Yeah, he's saying, "Mommy, why are you up so late?" I don't fall asleep until late, but I usually am in bed by this point. So he's thinking something is off. And I didn't want to stop until I kind of got the main items in this room finished. But I think we've got the furniture in here. It will be fun to come back and put in decorations and toys and things like that. But I think I am going to go ahead and call stream for the night. Again, in this room, we have the furniture. We still are going to have to come up with what we want to do on the walls in there and everything. But I feel like we've got this whole section pretty well sorted out. He is a beagle mix. He's not full beagle, but he definitely has beagle traits. And he has a very cute howl. He alternates between barking and howling. Thank you. Thanks so much. I really would love to see you again. And I would love to see you around, whether it's in my stream or one of the other streams we both watch. I hope that I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lociation. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we got a lot done today, and I'm pretty happy with the way things are looking. I mean, we still have 2 bathrooms that are going to need all their fixtures and everything, and we still have a lot of accessories and things to do, but I think we're starting to get more of a feel for what it's going to look like, and I'm feeling good about it. And I am so thankful to have all of you here with me this evening. There have been so many of you that have come in and said hi, and it just warms my heart. I feel like it's just nice to be able to share this with friends, and so it gives me a really good feeling. I don't think I'm going to raid out right now. It's hard for me on this computer to see who is on. And so I think unless first messages me to tell me, hey, go to so-and-so's stream, I think I will plan on just shutting things down here. But again, thank you all for coming, and have a really good night. And I hope that the rest of your week goes well, and I will see you around. Oh, okay, Ella is live. We can go into her then. So skip what I just said. Oh, no, Ella's not. Okay, I guess. Yeah, okay, we're back on the original plan. We are going to end stream. Thank you all so much for being here. Bye-bye now. Trying to get on the computer where you can see that I'm waving goodbye. Have a great week. I'll see you later.